It happened just after 4, and I'm going to get out of the frame so you can see behind me. This is the semi that got hit by a train as it was making its way across the intersection here at Lincoln and Plymouth. There are some trees like this one behind me right here that have fallen down. There's a couple more behind it as well that have fallen in front of a lakefront house. The byproduct heparin has been known to harm fish and wildlife if they come in contact with it. This raises a concern because Hepar Bioscience, which is back there, is just about a mile away from here, the Big Sioux River. We're going to go a little farther south into Greek Fest, so for that, one of the people who was working here gave me something to dress a little bit for the part. So I'm going to be wearing my Sparta helmet as we're doing the rest of this. So let's take a walk inside Greek Fest here. Diana, behind me here is the beginning of the track where the horse race actually will begin. Horses will line up somewhere around here, and then they loop around and make their way to the south side of the property, which creates that capital J or candy cane-like shape. President Trump meets with British Prime Minister Theresa May at the White House today. The visit comes just a day after the president of Mexico scrapped plans to visit the president next week amid a growing dispute over Mr. Trump's plans to build a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Well, the driver of the car that crashed into the Booyer River last Thursday near Denison is now facing several felony charges.
We got toilets bubbling. Did this toilet bubble?
I didn't know.
The one downstairs is going nuts.
Big Ox Energy and a plumbing service hired by the company began a smoke test around 9 in the morning at the 4 houses owned by Rob Baker, one of the residents affected by hydrogen sulfide. They did this to see if there are any ways hydrogen sulfide could leak into those homes. When they began the smoke test in the first home, this happened.
Yeah, see, this is what they say cannot happen. They say smoke and gas cannot come through the trench. Look, it's coming right through the toilet, through the water.
These smoke tests were run in all 4 of the homes. Of those 4 homes, 3 had leaks in them. 1 from the toilet, and the other from 2 smaller locations on pipes.
In all this situation, we've never had that. You know, we've just had the smell, but we've never noticed that. I know one resident over here on Redbird said that he had a shower upstairs that was bubbling back through his shower, but we've never had anything like that.
It's more of a simulation. I can't say that it's absolutely conclusive, but it definitely would represent sewer gas that could potentially enter that home.
Bradley is confident that after applying these tests, they found a large majority of the homes could have some sort of leak.
We've found homes, I would say roughly 85% of homes have had some type of issue, which, as I said earlier, would potentially allow sewer gas to enter that home.
But what the Bakers didn't tell Bradley, and didn't tell us until after Bradley had left, was that they spent nearly $1,000 a couple of days ago to do their own smoke test from a different plumbing company. And that came with a different result. The invoice the Bakers provided to us says, quote, smokehouse, after hours, all tested fine, which makes Rob Baker a little skeptical.
You know, we've been here, what, 2.5 hours. It took 2.5 hours to find 2 small little leaks. You know, that's really pushing it.
She's got good! She's got to go!
Get down!
Oh!
The city of Storm Lake wants to be prepared. That's why for the past 3 days, it's hosted an active shooter training course at Buena Vista University's Smith Hall to help prepare law enforcement and emergency services throughout Siouxland in case of a tragedy.
Our philosophy here is we train for the worst and we pray for the best.
Storm Lake Public Safety Director and Police Chief Mark Prosser says this kind of training is becoming more common.
Every organization, every law enforcement and first responder agency that I'm aware of, no matter what the size of community in our state and in our nation, have been training quite a bit over the last many years.
On the final day of this public safety training, the scenario was this. Law enforcement has already taken down a shooter and needs to make sure there aren't any other potential threats, as well as save as many civilians inside the building. Everyone, including law enforcement and the volunteers that are participating in this training today, aren't using real bullets in their guns, but as an extra precaution required to wear safety goggles.
In this day and age, we don't ever know where an active shooter event's going to occur. So we've got to be proactive, not reactive.
Training director from the Government Training Institute, Dennis O'Connor, came all the way from South Carolina to lead these exercises. He does this kind of training all across the U.S. and says having every type of resource work together can lead to the best results in dealing with an active shooter.
We've got to be able to start bringing our fire, EMS, and law enforcement together to have a working relationship under like an incident command type style.
One member of Sioux City's fire and rescue team made his way out to Storm Lake and says this course has helped all the agencies who've participated.
We're getting much closer to a point where we are very well prepared to handle any sort of incident that could occur in this region.
All these people are crowding around for one reason: to see a real chicken get put into a mailbox while getting pushed out by a plunger to see how far it can fly. This is one of the many events taking place this weekend at Wayne, Nebraska's 36th annual Chicken Show.
It's the craziest, most unique, odd. I mean, it's people do things here that you don't ever see anyplace else.
Which is why many people, including Waynians, migrate back to Wayne for the weekend.
The Chicken Show provides a great grounding event for our community. Many of our class reunions have alumni events scheduled around the Chicken Show. It brings our own back home, but it also is a great attraction for our visitors.
But this show didn't hatch overnight. It originally was set up as an art show.
They thought that chickens provided a lot of art medium, like feathers and eggshells could be art medium, but also because chickens are just funny and foul.
The Wayne Chicken Show has been around for over 30 years, celebrating all things Wayne and all things fowl.
One competition that people flock to, for locals, really needs no introduction. Probably because it's not hard to hear. This is the National Cluck-Off, where people from all over the United States come and compete to see who can mimic a chicken the best. Some go for more of an audible approach, while others focus on more of an overall presentation. But one man entered the Cluctagon and didn't lay an egg as he took home his 12th, that's right, 12th, National Cluck-Off title.
It's like music. They say you have an ear for it. I have an ear for animal sounds. Any barnyard animal I can pretty much mimic.
But if you're still not convinced on the experience you'll have at the Chicken Show, well, I'll just let Fletcher explain it.
Everyone, if they come out to the Wayne Chicken Show, they'll have a clucking good time, and we encourage that.
In Wayne, Nebraska, Nick Popham, Siouxland News.
Well, staying positive again, because here's what we're talking about on the Facebook page this morning. Today's National Popcorn Day, and I couldn't be more excited about it because popcorn is my favorite. What do you like on your popcorn? I'm weird, so I like just the artificial butter that comes with it. Like if I go to the movies, I don't add the extra butter to it because that's a little too like greasy for me. I just like the artificial butter that they have on it. How about you?
I like butter and salt, but every once in a while my dad makes chocolate covered popcorn, and that is possibly one of my favorite things in the world.
Wait, no, we can't go past this. So chocolate covered popcorn?
Yes.
That's phenomenal.
Like you make chocolate like you're gonna make chocolate pretzels, but instead of pretzels, you just put popcorn in there.
Kat Taylor's dad, if you're watching this, I would love some. Please.
I'll see what we can do next time I go home.
And now that I'm thinking about it too, caramel corn's amazing too. My uncle makes amazing homemade caramel corn for Christmas, and me and my mom, it's like our guilty pleasure. We'll have like the entire bag that he gives us, and it's just incredible. It comes with like macadamia nuts, all these different cashews. Oh, it's so good.
Yummy. Now I'm really craving popcorn.
I know. Now we need popcorn. We might have to make someone in the back make us some popcorn. I'm just saying.